What's up, beautiful people? How are you? It is your girl, Cleisha, and welcome to All Things Cleisha, where we are closing open wounds. So, today there are some things. Life has been lifing, but God is still good. There's some things that I want to talk to you guys about. Some things that has been in my aura, some things that I've been talking to with my friends, and just different things that's going on in my life that I feel that you could benefit from. Okay. So what I want to talk today, and I woke up with this thought of forgiveness. This whole thing is coming from the seed of forgiveness. So with this, let me tell you guys a story. If you've been with me for some time, you know I have been divorced, you know. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm sorry, I just jumped right in, but this is how we do. Sit down so we can talk. Let's just talk. So I want to talk from the point of forgiveness. And like I said, for those of you that know, I have been through divorce. Last year I had a divorce that I went through. And yes, in addition to this, I have been divorced before, but this was something different. This was something totally different. Like the process and everything. And he and I's relationship was totally different. The process of the divorce was totally different. So we got divorced. I filed for divorce for reasons that I believe that is just. I'm not saying that he's a bad person or anything like that. He just wasn't the person for me. We were unequally yoked, and what that means, if I could surmise it, biblically, the Bible talks about being unequally yoked, which means, basically you could be good people, but you're really on two different levels. Okay? One spouse or one person in the relationship is carrying more of the burden than the other. So you're unequally yoked. You may have similar core values. However, there is a bit of an imbalance. When we're in relationships, we really need to be with people that not think like us. You don't have to necessarily think the same, but you do have to have the same kind of outlook on life. And you got to be able to pull your own weight in a relationship. That's another thing that can make a relationship unequally yoked, where one is pulling the burden more than the other. Now in life, we have our own personal burdens that we do have to pull through and focus and just dig into. But when you become a unit with someone, it's not just your burden, it's not just their burdens that they have to carry or that you have to carry. It is also the burden for the relationship, whatever is going on. Now, when I'm saying burden, I'm not necessarily saying a bad thing. Whatever it is, it could be household chores, it could be bills, it could be the kids, the dog, the cat, etc. You got the picture. So in my previous marriage, we were unequally yoked. We both believed in God, and we believed in church and just different things. However, my ex-husband could not really pour into me spiritually. I am a Christian. I love God. I love his word. I am astute in his word. And because I know the Bible and different principles that the Bible gives us, that's what I live by. That's what I live by. One of the biggest things in the Bible that I believe that should take precedence and should have foundation in your relationship is when the Bible speaks of the husband and wife and the roles of each one, and how we are to leave other people behind and cleave to each other. It is supposed to be us against the world. I had a little bit of issues with that. My ex-husband had never been married before. Quite frankly, you know, from what I gathered from the things that he told me was that he hadn't been in a real serious relationship where there was things that he had to give up for the sake of the relationship. And I'm not just saying women, I'm not saying relationships, okay? I'm just saying people, persons, and things, period. Right? Hold on 1 second as I merge. I'm on my way to work, guys, as usual. So, you know, I didn't feel like he put our needs, and I'm not saying my needs, our needs of our relationship before certain things and certain individuals. You know, so I had my reasons. My ex did not do well with forgiveness. He was not a forgiving person. If we had a fight or something like that, it will go on for days. And I found myself, you know, because I'm a woman of God, I found myself always extending the olive branch, always trying to start communication, still had his dinner ready, still had the house clean. I'm not perfect. When I say these things, please, y'all, I'm not perfect at all. I have other issues and other insecurities that I deal with. I think everybody has a burden that they have to carry personally. Like I said, if you have watched any of my videos, I had, because of abandonment issues and not being really raised by my mom and not knowing my father and just different things that I went through and being bullied in school, I have a lot of self-esteem issues. I have a lot of trust issues, really. And I know that about myself. So there was certain things that, you know, I'm like, I'm trying, but bruh, I need you to, you know, I'm helping you, I'm securing you. I need to feel secure as well. I need to feel like a priority in this relationship, or how else could it work, right? How could it work? We were going through a lot. And I mean, one day I'll really get into it if I feel led to. But forgiveness was an issue, and I got tired of him walking out, supposedly going to his mama's house, and, you know, not dealing with our issues. I'm not the type of woman, and I had this conversation with a young lady last night. That's another reason why I'm prompted to do this video. I had this conversation with my friend last night, and I'm not the type of person. Now, if you want to catch me in my 20s, I'm trying to go upside your head, I'm cussing, I'm fussing, I'm doing all of that because I'm like, bro, you playing with me, right? Then I'm short and stuff like that, and I feel like, yo, you just trying to play with me. And also because, you know, I'm a Christian and I'm gonna try to do the right thing, but if you poke me, I'm gonna holler at you. Fast forward, I'm in my 40s, I'm not doing that. I'm not coming out of my character. I'm not cussing you out. I'm not going upside your head. I'm not demeaning you. I'm not saying hurtful things. Now, I may say things that are truthful or that are my truth that may hurt you, but I am not calling you out your name. I'm not wishing no ill upon you, your family, or nothing like that. There's just certain lines you do not cross, regardless. If you're in a relationship and you want it to work, there are certain boundaries, there are certain things that you should not cross at all. So I was telling a young lady that. So because I had been married and divorced before, this husband, I feel, got the best of me, the best version of me, because I'm steady. We're steady evolving, we're steady growing, we're steady maturing. Well, at least that's what you should be doing. So I feel like I'm doing the work on me. I'm not doing tit for tat. I'm not doing all that. So he would walk out, he would be gone for days, and I would try to stay in a good headspace. I would still go to work. Ain't nobody about to let me miss no money, because I had kids and I had a household that I was the main contributor to. That's another reason. But like I said, I'm not trying to point no fingers. But, you know, for our household with me and my ex, I was the main one contributing to our household because he had other obligations and other responsibilities, you know. So I couldn't miss work. There was no emotional days. You know what? I'm not going in. I'm not, you know, I didn't do any of that. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. Because my mother suffered to her dying day with alcoholism and drug abuse. I I vowed to, if I was going to have a drink or, you know, a little champagne or something like that, it was a celebratory occasion. I wasn't going to drink or do anything out of stress. So for me, I just want to be left alone. I want my house clean. I'm one of them. I'm old school. Put my music on. I'm cleaning my house. I'm not ripping and running the street or whatever. And that's how I dealt with it. So I was in that marriage, and one day he left, and it was right around Thanksgiving. Actually, it was right before Thanksgiving. My mom had passed away the year before. No, my mom had passed away that year, and Thanksgiving was her and I favorite holiday. My mom was a cook. In spite of all her things, she cooked, right? And we always spent Thanksgiving together. I buried my mom in February. By November, me and my husband was on the rocks. It happened before then. Things were happening, but I'm just giving you, a synopsis of everything, right? And he wasn't there for me. On Thanksgiving, I didn't get a call. He supposedly was with his family. I did have an issue with this, and I will say this. I was kind of upset with his family, but I really can't be upset because I was taught right. That how could you allow your grown son, your grown brother, be at your house for days knowing that he got wife at home? I had kids. We didn't have any kids together. But if we're married, those are your kids too. So you got a wife and kids at home, and you can be here. I don't know if anyone questioned him or not, but I feel as though no one got through to him because he stayed there. Even beyond that, Christmas came. We tried to work some things out. I tried, and one day I just said, enough is enough. I was spending more time alone than in a marriage. I felt more alone. So I had my reasons. He has his side of the story. This is just my side. This is why I left. There was a lot of unforgiveness, a lot of narcissistic behavior, a lot of walking away from the relationship and not dealing with the issues. I wanted to go to counseling. You didn't want to go to counseling. I did all the praying and crying and fasting. I can't do this. God, forgive me if you're telling me to stay, but I can't do this because I felt as though he was going to cause me to sin. And I mean step out of the relationship. And I didn't. All this is going on. I did not go meet up with somebody, my ex and, somebody who I was dealing with. I didn't do any of that until my relationship was over, to be honest. So again, we're talking about unforgiveness. This is the root of the issue about unforgiveness. So I filed for divorce. I'm going through the whole rigmarole. I'm going through the paperwork, and I know he's getting documents in the mail. He still has some stuff at my house, and I mean some valuable stuff, y'all. And I'm not talking about gold or money or anything. He had his father was deceased, and he had pictures with his father as a child. I had his birth certificate, different certificates and things like that. Even in my grief, I packed up all of his stuff, y'all, and I took him to his mother's house. I didn't knock on the door or anything like that because I didn't want to see him, and I didn't want to seem like a creep, but I knew that he would get it if I left it at his mother's house. Now, I have one of my staff, she was like, Miss Clee, you actually did that? She said, oh, I'm not mature enough for that. Yeah, because like I told my friend last night, God is watching. God is watching how you handle people that hurt you. We're talking about forgiveness, right? In the process of divorce, I could have threw away all his stuff. I could have made a big spectacle on Facebook, social media, even with my YouTube channel. You don't really see me talking about my divorce of my my ex-husband. Because I'm not trying to trash him. It's a part of my testimony. I learned a lot of things about myself, and I'm still going to be the woman that God called me to be. Period. Regardless of how you act, God is still holding me accountable to how I act and how I respond to you, because that's the only way the other person or anyone is going to learn. You can't fight fire with fire. Somebody got to be the water. Like, somebody got to cool the situation down. Somebody has to be level-headed and say, hey, you know what? This is going too far. That's it. I'm not doing it. Somebody got to walk away. And the craziest thing about this whole thing is that during the process of my divorce, I never heard from him. Y'all, he never even signed the paperwork. You left me. You gave me no inclination that you even wanted to solve the relationship. You didn't really fight for me. The only time he kind of fought for me is when he knew I was done. And this ain't the first ex that gonna call my pastor on me and then try to reel me in. Nah, bruh, I'm done. It's over. By then, and I don't know. When I'm done, y'all, and I can't get it back. Like, when I have to process and I have to go to work and I still have to do things. I mean, y'all, we had a trip planned. We had a cruise planned. Last year's cruise. He didn't want to come on it. He didn't want to. I'm like, yo, this would be great to restart our relationship if we're going to have our marriage. Nothing, y'all. He walked away. During the process of the divorce, like I said, I did not hear from this man. We never had a closing statements. We never had a closing conversation. I never got closure about my marriage. He never signed the documents. Because he wasn't signing the documents, it was prolonged. I had to go about things, a legal way. And, that time takes some time. We didn't have any assets or we didn't have a house. We don't have any kids. So it was cut and dry, besides the part where he wasn't signing. And it took me an additional, I want to say 60 to 90 days of the process. But he was getting notifications. Do y'all think I got a conversation, a text, a phone call? Nothing. I didn't even want an apology, really. I never got that. And I had to move on. I had to move on, y'all, without closure. Without knowing, what did I do to you so bad? Like, you sought after me like nobody's business. Like, I don't be looking for men. I really don't. I don't be looking for men. I don't be looking to date nobody or nothing. You pursued me like nobody's business, guys. For 5 months, this guy was trying to holler at me, and I was like, no. Because I was just like, you know what? You look like you're a handful, and I had my own reasons why. You did this. Even to the day we got married. Yeah, I got you, and da-da-da-da. You happy? You telling everybody. You did all of this and nothing, y'all. You talk about somebody who had questions, who had reserves, who wants to know why. Why did you pick this person over me? Or why didn't you fight? Or why did you lie to me? I mean, I'm going to buy you a house. Y'all, I heard it all. I'm going to take care of you. You don't got to work if you don't want to. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Had this great presentation, y'all. When the reality was, it was all a lie. It was all a facade, or it just didn't happen, or maybe he needed more time. But we were together for 4 years. Back to my question. Do you not think that I wanted closure at some point? I went on that last cruise, y'all, and y'all check out my videos. Y'all know I always cruise. We got a cruise coming up now, in less than a month. I'm excited about that. I went on there, and I had to cry. I had to get it all out, about different things and my emotions. And I went on that boat. I found me a quiet spot to look at the water, away from all my family. This is the footage that you didn't see. And cried my last cry about it. And I said, it's over. That's it. And I came home, and that was it. It was over. Because I had already filed for divorce. So I'm like, this is it. So I I had to forgive him, y'all, without the apology. Because I said, you know, if I'm to deal with someone else, I don't want to be bitter. I don't want them to have to pay for what he did to me. You got to forgive to live. If you don't forgive, you on a treadmill, you running right in place. You're not going nowhere. And maybe he's not sorry. People don't even be sorry. And it's okay. They don't have to be sorry for you to forgive them to live. The forgiveness, as cliche as it is, it's not for them. It's for you to move on. Because people ask me, how do you move on so quickly? Yes, guys, I've been married and divorced a few times. And I've been in a few relationships. And when I know I've tried all I can do, that was in my physical power and even spiritual being, I prayed, I've cried, I fasted, I did everything, and I get peace about it. What else I'm gonna do? For what? They don't agree with you. They're not going to hear your side of the story. Nothing. And then after the divorce, to hear that my ex-husband lied about different details of our relationship. I mean, the stuff that he said and that he told people that got back to me, oh my God, yo, I was furious. Like, why would you lie? I know I'm not perfect, but don't lie on me. Don't say, you know, I didn't want you to take care of your mother. That's a lie. That was a whole lie. But I do expect to be priority in your life. That's my right. You took me on as your wife. I don't think men understand, and I don't mean to get off on a tangent, but whatever. When a woman agrees to marry you, she's literally putting her life in your hands. That's serious. I done changed my name. I done had to go through all, you know, the semantics of everything. I done had to do all of this stuff. And you get a divorce and y'all don't have to change nothing. If anything, you change your address and that's it. Do y'all even know what a woman goes through once she changed her name? That's making me angry to even think about it. So we're not even going there. But y'all women that's divorced, y'all know what I'm talking about. So I'm trusting you in my life. And you don't even want to sacrifice for me. And sacrifice I'm not a materialistic person. So I'm not looking for you to buy me stuff. I'm looking for you to be there, to be emotionally available, to be vulnerable to me. How do y'all want a woman to be strong and to hold you down? You want us to be strong. Y'all call it y'all being emotional and things like that. But anger and temper tantrums are an emotion too. That's what y'all fail to realize. But y'all don't want us to be crying and being emotional and things like that. Granted, but if you want me to be strong, then I need you to be vulnerable, and that creates balance. Period. Period. I'm sorry, but it's the truth, and somebody needs to say it. You know. So, to sum it all up, please, whoever has wronged you, for your sake and your sake alone, please forgive that person. Please. God speaks heavily about forgiveness in the Bible. A person that wrongs you, you know, there's people that are going to do you wrong and hurt your feelings. It still doesn't give you the right, child of God, it still doesn't give you a right to be mean to them, to be vindictive. Oh, I'm going to show you, I'm going to treat you how you treated me, and I'm going to make you feel the same pain. You know, what are we, children? Tit for tat? I'm bigger than that. You're bigger than that. I told the young lady last night, no matter what, I have to walk in grace, finesse, class, style, character. We talked about character last night. My character, you know what? My name might not even mean anything. And I know the Bible talks about God will make your name great. But my character, say what you want about me. And the people who know me know me. I'm a full-grown woman. My character will outweigh any lie, any type of, plot scheme that anyone has against me. Because I've worked on my character so much, and you know what? No one can take that away from me. You can take physical things, you can take away my relationships, my marriages, whatever. You can't take away my calling on my life, and you can't take away my character. That's what I live for. Walk in grace, walk in humility, understand that nobody is perfect. And this is another thing. This conversation came up with me and other people. This is another thing. In the Bible, so many times, and I don't even think people really understand this, and I'm sorry if I'm referencing the Bible so much, but I am a Christian, so that's all I know. In the Bible, it talks about God closing a womb, or God hardening someone's heart, or God sending, spirits, evil spirits to torment people. God does give permission for things in your life to make you uncomfortable, to push you to your destiny. You so busy thinking it's the person, they evil, they got spirits on them, they demonic, they the devil, and this and this and that, which may be true, but we wrestle not against flesh and blood. You're not fighting against a physical person. You're fighting against a spiritual being. And God is a spirit. So God, what I'm trying to say is, some things are happening in your life, not for everybody, but some things happen where God is making you feel like, you know what, this is uncomfortable, I gotta get out of here. They talk about the eagle, and when, and how when they have babies, they have their little chicks, or whatever you want to call them, little baby eagles in the nest. And it's all comfortable for them, when they're really small, right? When it's time, when the mother feels as though it's time for the eagles to get out and fly, she interns the branches of the nest to make them very uncomfortable. It forces them to fly out. Like, you know what? I'm getting poked up, And it forces them to fly out on their own. That may be what God is doing for you, my sweetheart. You think it's the devil. You think it's, an evil spirit. You even think that it's the person. I'm here to tell you that it's not. It's all orchestrated by God to push you to your destiny. If you had not been, hurt, and the bridge burned so bad that you can't even walk back there and you can't even look back, God is saying you got to go forward. It is all allowed. Everything that is bad that happens to us is not bad, if that makes any sense. All things work together for your good. So that means even the bad things work. I thank God for what I have been through. I never prayed so much, y'all. Let me tell you something. I found out who I was in the spirit in the midst of a divorce. I never prayed so much. I never cried out. I never fasted so much until tribulation time was on me. And it grew me up in the spirit. It grew up my prayer life. It matured me. It made me see on a higher level. You got to be higher than than the people that want to wallow in muck and mire and mud and mudslinging and talking about each other. And y'all be using that social media to do that. Not doing it. If I have beef with somebody, y'all wouldn't know it. I would never do that. And it's not that I'm better than anyone else, but what are we going to get from it? You didn't let everybody know your business, then y'all kiss and make up, and guess who looks stupid? I ain't beat. I'm not beat. Please forgive. I say all of this to say, you gotta forgive. You gotta let it go. Now, some people, this isn't for everybody. Now, some people love to hold on to some hurt and some pain because they use it as a crutch and they want a disability check. You want to be disabled. So some people, not all, I know some people that are attention seekers. Oh, you hurt me. It's been 10, 15 years. Oh, well, bruh, it's been 10 years. Let it go. Because if you don't forgive to live, you're going to miss out on some opportunities. You're going to miss out on some people, some relationships, some jobs, and more importantly, some growth. And this channel is about growth. I want to be better, and I want to see everybody around me better. And it's going to take some time, one day at a time. And all is well. You can get through it. Know that I'm praying for you. I pray that this touches you, and I pray that this encourages you. And if you know someone that needs to hear this message, please share it. You don't have to share it publicly. You can inbox this to somebody. You know, I don't believe in public spectacles. And I'm not trying to get famous off of this. I know there's someone that feels the way I feel and have gone through the same thing, or that is going through this right now, and you needed a word of encouragement. And if you got one thing out of this time with us together, I am grateful and I am blessed. I pray that God continues to work on your mind. Make sure you guys pray, get in your word. I was telling my friend last night, set your atmosphere, command your day, put your worship music on, put your sermons on in the morning, start your day off right. People are going to come. People are going to attack you. When people are unhappy with themselves, they want to provoke you. Please don't give them that opportunity. Being a property manager, I get residents that are unhappy, and they come to me, and sometimes they come to me sideways. Sometimes they do. But all of the time they come back and apologize. You want to know why? It's not that I'm great and I'm better or anything like that. It's that I am not going to stoop to that level. I have worked too hard to get up at a place where I can see below me. I love getting on a plane, you know. I love traveling because you can see what's going on below you. I have worked too much to be where I am emotionally, spiritually, and in my growth. And I'll be doggone if anybody try to take that away from me. It ain't happening, Captain. It ain't happening. Stop letting people trigger you. You got work to do. You got people's lives that are connected to you. You got things that you got work to do. Come on here. Ain't no time for this foolery. We ain't got time for that. People still doing the same thing year after year after year. I'm at work, y'all. They don't want to grow. They don't want, they don't want nothing in their life. Then that's on them. Let them be. Let them go. Shake the dust off your feet and keep it pushing. Stop letting people hold you stagnant. I love you guys. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll check you guys out in the next video. Stay tuned. Yo, my vacation is coming up. Y'all know the cameras will be out. It's an all-adult cruise this year. We're going to Jamaica. Stay tuned. I love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.